Hey, it's your old pal Slim, and this is 70mm, a podcast for movie fans. Disclaimer at the top of the show, we're not experts, but we do love watching movies. With me each and every episode is my close friend and artist, Danny Haas.
Hello.
And our close friend and movie insider, Proto-Lexus. Frank Oz in studio right now.
Frank Oz.
Every movie that we cover is connected to a theme for that month, and this time it's Monster Tober. And our patrons voted and chose this movie, Young Frankenstein from 1974. And you can use the chapters in your podcast app to skip right to that discussion. This is, I just want to make a statement before the music hits officially. This episode, we will determine if Gene Wilder can be redeemed after Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Good point.
We'll settle the debate. December we're so close to Christmas. Christmas stuff actually was up in Home Depot as of last week.
I want them banned.
They're erasing Halloween from our nation.
they had both sections up at the same time at opposite ends of the Home Depot. I don't even know it started that soon.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
They had a reindeer, they had a huge life-size reindeer, and that has Santa up. They had like Halloween, you know how they have like Halloween, things like people, monsters. They had like Christmas versions of that set up for your lawn.
Yeah, the Halloween ones though are insane. They're the animatronics that they have now at Home Depot. There's like 10 of them that were there, like giant animatronics.
Yeah,
I think I saw you have the Reaper, right? Is that what you have now?
Oh yeah, we got the
That
Reaper.
Reaper's gnarly.
Yeah. Man and I needed to have like a family chat in Home Depot to see if we could make this happen somehow. Like if we need to move money around for this Reaper.
You slide like 6 credit cards. Can you guys distribute amongst?
I don't know how we did it, but we did it.
Doesn't matter. Yeah,
the Reaper was set up. I'll tell you, even just setting up that Reaper was an event in and of itself. That you want to test a marriage that is already on the brink.
You messed
install
with
a Reaper on your the front lawn before Halloween. Paul just linked to a Texas Chainsaw Massacre animatronic. Where is that at?
That thing looks good.
That's not at Home Depot, is it?
That looks like Walmart.
Lowe's.
Oh.
Lowe's is really
Call
sinking.
me when they bring out a Franklin animatronic.
Oh my God. He's doing, and like the motion sensor is just him doing that sarcastic laugh to people walking by. Sicko. Anywho, I was saying that December's episodes, we're taking the month off. And all those episodes are now officially in the can.
Oh my gosh.
Because the three of us just had a little weekend getaway in Orlando, Florida, 70mm Summit, Volume 1, by the beach.
Yeah.
And we watched movies. We watched a lot of movies, but specifically we watched 4 movies for the month, and then we recorded right after. Proto, how was it for you? It was a lot of work. This is a business trip. This is tax deductible.
Yeah, we wrote everything off.
Yeah, I will say that last recording that we did, I was feeling it. I was feeling just all the thoughts and words that I had to come up with, to get it out into the microphone, sitting there for hours on end. It was a trial, but I think we did good work, personally.
I think so too.
Some of our best.
Some of our best. And if you want to be technical about it, we'll get into the details at a later time. That was like our 6th recording that in a 2-day period. So I could see why Proto was getting kind of exhausted. You ended up leaving the recording schedule to go for a run. You're like, guys, I need to get out of here. I need to go run the beach.
I needed to reset, reset my mental, iron it out on the sands. Got in a good 30-minute run. That's what I need.
I did the math though. We watched 8 movies and then we recorded 6 times.
My God. I dare anyone to try to top that out there.
I dare you.
I dare you.
In 2 days.
To book a trip to another state, buy a beach, and just watch movies and record your podcast for 2 days straight.
We're serious about this show. 5 years in.
It's
Finally.
5 years. It's time to get serious.
We're time to get serious.
So those episodes will hit in December. We'll have more details about our plans for December in the coming weeks for patrons. If you're listening to this, on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, the main feed, you're not getting any of those episodes in December. We made the decision that they're just going to go to patrons for the entire month. So again, more to come on this topic. We did go to Disney for a day. The four of us. Dale was with us, our producer. We're not going to get into the Disney talk this episode. Stay tuned. We go in depth very soon on a very special thing that will be coming out in the near future. But we should talk about next month.
Big one.
November. We need to announce the theme. Proto had this theme come to him, like a bolt of lightning outside of Jungle Cruise. Yeah. I think we were in line for.
We couldn't stop laughing. It's so stupid.
Generally, if the three of us start laughing at an idea, we have to do it. Also, FYI, don't get your hopes up for December's theme either, by the way. That was the amount of laughs that the idea for December's theme gave us.
Yeah.
Get ready.
Yeah.
But the theme for next month is November. Movies we have never done on this show. We've never covered them. We're going to choose them for November. And that's just a silly way of saying that we get to choose whatever movie we want for the month. So no restrictions. We've done this in the past before, but it was a different themed name. I think it was like Freedom Month, and I hated it.
You were stressed.
But Proto, I'm sure the excitement levels for you are off the charts because you get to choose whatever the heck you want.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, my goal most of the time is to try to make this theme happen as often as possible. But getting it once a year, that's good enough for me. I'm happy with that. So yes, I'm very excited. Just to, sometimes you need the what do they call it in bingo? The free square. Sometimes you just need the free space. Yeah. Just give me the free space. Yes. Let me, for once, just let me pick a movie that I want to do on the podcast that I host. Okay.
Yeah. You've been so handcuffed for 5 years on this show.
He's gotten a whole month to himself twice.
Proto makes it sound like he's under lock and key and he's been restrained on every episode. He can never get what he wants.
I love it.
But next week, FYI, is Proto's pick. Yeah. So Proto has been freed of his shackles for November. Do you want to reveal it now? You're already locked, or do you want to wait until the end of the episode?
Let's make them wait. At least have to click through the chapters in Spotify.
Gotta click the chapters.
Okay. Danny, do you have a list together? Do you have like some picks? Have you thought about it?
Yeah. I've thought about it. I've thought about maybe some redemptions on some stuff I should have picked in the past. I've thought of stuff that I've just been dying to have on the show. So I'll see whichever way Proto blows on this first one. I don't want to like pick a same themed movie back to back, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to see what someone picks.
Yeah.
To then all right, what else can we do this month?
How's he starting off? How is he starting off this month?
Right.
Is it action? Is it horror? Is it comedy?
He's going to pick some obscure Criterion.
Yeah.
Because he's deep in this Criterion journey.
Yeah, he's going to make us watch one of these with him.
Right.
Could be.
Let's say hello to some new patrons that joined this week. Alfonso, Jordan, Weston, Isaac, Evan, Katie, and Adam all joined this week.
Hello.
Got access to our VHS Village Discord, uncut episodes, longer episodes that our patrons get every week and early. And Katie and Weston became interns.
Hello.
So they have unlocked voting power.
Yeah.
And we're very close to an election, so that's probably top of mind for Katie and Weston.
Yeah.
They want to be able to vote and choose our patron-exclusive episodes. And every week we give out a free year of Letterboxd patron, and Katie wins for becoming a patron of ours.
Okay.
So congratulations
there you go.
to Katie.
It was that easy.
We actually probably need to figure out if we're going to do it at live election special soon. It's in like a week.
I thought we said we were.
Right? What night is the election? Does anybody know? Is that Tuesday?
Yes, it's the 6th.
Oh, boy. Tuesday. All right, let's see if I can free up my schedule for that. What else? Anything else I want to say? What's the next? We have to do a draw, right? We're out of episodes?
No, we have one more.
No, we have one more to do.
Yeah.
More. The YouTube video.
Can't remember what that one's called.
Japanese something 5+? Japanese style?
Yeah, something 5+. Well, we'll add that in post. But after that, we have to choose some new movies that our interns have selected. So
Yeah.
this should be fun to see what we'll be doing in the new year. Danny watched a movie that we need to get into.
I did? Which one?
Danny watched a movie.
I'm looking at my diary.
Just dropped an absolute steamer of a review on this movie. Lake Mungo.
Oh, Lake Mungo. Yeah.
Let it out.
So listen, on TikTok, I follow a few people that I enjoy their takes. And a few times they've brought up Lake Mungo as this great found footage horror film up there with Blair Witch, et cetera, et cetera. And I've let it hit the back burner and I've thought about it and I saw that you've seen it and gave it 4 stars. There's a few people in my Letterboxd friends that have given it higher ratings. So I finally fired it up and I was just bored out of my mind watching this film. I didn't find any of it scary. I didn't find any of it that interesting. I don't know. I think I was more shocked about halfway through that I was just, I don't know. I don't know what I expect. I think I expected Blair Witch and I got, and you today actually sent me an article that I read, breaking down the film, how it's not technically meant to be this super scary film. It's not meant to be horror. It's supposed to lean into the grief, that kind of side of, and trauma kind of storytelling. And I think I was just in the wrong mindset to watch this film, but also I'm not going to watch it again now that I know all this. I can't, I was bored out of my mind.
Oh,
Did you block those TikTok accounts from your follow list?
No, I only unfollowed you.
I wouldn't be caught dead on TikTok. Actually, I think I have an account. I just don't use it.
Yeah, you have
I think I followed my son in Letterboxd, and that's
you
it.
just gotta watch out. I mean, it was not great for me. I was really bored watching it.
I mean, I feel like that's the general consensus in that movie because I said in our DMs or somewhere that Amanda felt the same way as you did.
Yeah, it's in your review too.
She's like, she was so bored. Like that was stupid.
But you liked it.
And really, at the end, I don't think I knew what to think. So then as often we do, I went right to Reddit.
You turned to Reddit.
I was like, Reddit, help me. Educate me. What did I just watch? How should I feel? How can I feel? And ultimately, we only need one person to settle this, and that's Proto. So I'm anxious to see when Proto will be able to fit this in.
Yeah, streaming on Prime, Proto.
I'm going to pencil it in to my weekly schedule.
Okay.
We'll get it done. All right? You have my word. Be my word.
That's a good month theme. Proto settling things month. Settling this.
That's not a real fart. Every so often I have to remind
you
that's
around
not
people.
Someone actually farting into the mic. That's a soundboard. That's a joke. It's a bit that we do sometimes on the show.
It's funny.
What about any of the movies that we watched at the summit that weren't December related that you wanted to discuss?
I'll let you guys bring up Salem's Lot.
Oh my God,
I want to talk about Alligator, 1980s Alligator. Incredible film.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I loved the most about Alligator is
that you slept through 3/4 of it, or was that Tremors that you slept through?
Did I sleep through Tremors? No. Yes, probably because I had seen Tremors before. That alligator animatronic was incredible.
Oh,
Animatronic puppet, whatever you want to call it. Kiss me on the lips. That thing looked so
when
good.
It ate that dude in the alley.
Oh my gosh.
And he was just like jumping in his alligator gullet.
The guy's hairline made no sense. Like it was fascinating to just kind of watch it throughout the film to see how it even worked. I don't know how his hairline worked in that film. Buying baby alligators as pets, like I don't think is that ever been legal?
That has to be real in Florida.
I don't think so because remember, one guy was trying to sell an alligator on the street and he like pushed him to the cops.
Right.
He's like, take care of this guy. And he got arrested.
So I've lived in Florida my whole life. I don't think I've ever seen an alligator for sale. Maybe I haven't looked hard enough.
Dark web.
I loved Alligator. I had a lot of fun with it.
It's a good movie.
I loved Alligator as well.
Yeah.
It's funny though, because we watched Tremors right after, and in Tremors, spoilers, Victor Wong gets eaten by one of those creatures. Whenever I think of Alligator, I feel like Victor Wong got eaten by an alligator in that, but I'm just confusing the two. But that's what I see in my mind of just like the alligator like hopping him down his throat and it's like, Victor Wong.
I love it.
We also watched, I forgot until you said it, we did watch the original Salem's Lot and the new one.
Yeah.
So full disclosure, I slept through half of Salem's Lot, the new one.
I took like 3 showers during the 6 watchings to get to the first one.
Little known fact about Danny, but when he gets bored in a movie, he says he needs to go take a shower. He just showers when he's bored. He left the room. He's like, I'll see you guys. I gotta go take a shower. I saw Danny shower 10 times during a 2-day period. It was unreal.
Oh my God.
Perda, you're on a Dracula like marathon. So what did you think of the OG Salem's Lot?
I had no idea that Salem's Lot is basically a retelling of the Dracula story. It wasn't until there was a point in the movie. I think it was like with his assistant Stryker, kind of like Mr. Barlow's coming in town, and I have to arrange it. Yeah, the master's coming.
Oh, the master, Mr. Barlow.
Putting the crate in the basement with the padlocks. I was like, oh my gosh, is this what I'm watching? I mean, God bless Stephen King for stealing the story, and just rewriting it. I mean, it's a great idea. I had a great time watching this one. I was really nervous. Well, not nervous, but I knew that people kind of poo-poo this as a TV movie and slow and whatever, but I had a fantastic time watching this. I kind of loved everything about it. And even the slow bits, the things where the characters are just like moving in slow motion or making stupid decisions. It was more just like fun than anything else.
How about when Barlow did the double headbutt murder, double headbutt homicide to the parents?
Iconic.
I mean, how about the effect of him in the kitchen with like the black cape thing?
Yeah, that was cool.
That was really rad.
Yeah. So the new one, the one that's on Max, I don't know what. I mean, whoever was in charge of lighting, I mean, they were going hard with like red light. That's the main thing I remember. There was like
a lot of red light,
bright red light, blue light, green light. It was very strange, but it sounded like you were kind of nonplussed, Proto, or I know Dale was, at least on the ending.
Yeah, I think the shame of it is that all the great things that the first one did, this one kind of just makes other choices that aren't as interesting, especially with like the way characters are like taken by the vampires. It just felt like they went more for jump scare moments than the creepy, super creepy elements that were in the original. It just didn't have the same level of charm that the first one does.
Did we watch anything else worth talking about? I guess that was it, right? We watched Batman too. Batman 89.
Yeah.
Classic.
That was what we started the week off with.
Yeah. A lot of movies. My God. A lot of movies. Before we get into Young Frankenstein, I came home and my wife was watching, I came home from our trip. Well, first of all, super annoying. I ended up just doing Lyft to the airport because I didn't feel like taking my Jeep because it's having problems.
Oh no.
I don't want to get into it right now. Don't even ask me about what's going on with the Jeep right now. So I lifted to the airport and I got a lift back. I put my address in. Guy was 17 minutes away. So I was like, all right, I'll go in and get a little sandwich from this vending machine. I'll wait. And I just sit there. I'm watching YouTube. And 20 minutes, the guy hasn't moved.
Uh-oh.
It still says 17 minutes.
Oof.
So the car is still where it was earlier. So I had to do the contact thing. I was like, hey, just checking in. I noticed, I I can't remember. I tried to like be nice. I was like, I noticed you haven't moved in 20 minutes. Is everything okay? And the next thing I knew, it was getting me a new driver.
What?
So like this guy canceled the ride and I had to wait another 17 minutes for the next driver. And I'm not aware of any process in Lyft where I can like leave a review or find out what happened. Like that ride is just gone. And there's no like process for me to be like, what the frig happened? That I'm still not going to be home till like 8 o'clock now. Like Proto was in bed before I even got home.
Yikes.
Sick.
And we were on the same plane. Anywho, my wife was watching Monster House when I came home.
What's
You
that?
guys ever see that movie? The animated Amblin movie?
No.
Animated
Amblin?
Amblin. Was it DreamWorks?
Who did this? Let's see. Image Movers and Amblin Entertainment. It's about these like 3 kids. There's like a haunted house in their town and they try to investigate it, but it's like 3D animated.
What?
I think the other movie, I tried to see what other movie they did. They did the Polar Express.
Okay. Well,
So all I can say is this movie was a lot of fun when I first saw it and was still very fun the last time I saw it. Unfortunately, the animation is aged terribly in this movie. So it kind of takes away from the fun that I have watching it, but still very fun. Monster House. Add it to your Halloween rotation, Danny.
oh, okay.
Check it out.
Hold on. Maybe I will.
I think you'll like it more than Lake Mungo.
well, sir, that bar's on the ground.
2006.
What is it called? Monster House. Monster
Monster House.
on letterbox.com.
Check it out.
Oh, look at that
3.4
poster.
average on
Hello.
Letterboxd. Yeah. Yeah.
Hello.
I mean, it's literally Amblin Entertainment. So, more do you need?
Okay. 3.4 on letterbox.
Young Frankenstein, episode 242 of 70mm Pod. Which, by the way, I should say, there's some new merch in our store on vhsvillage.com. Danny's been
Silently
designing his
cooking.
little heart out. There's an amazing new logo for 70mm on a shirt that I grabbed. Was it Global? 70mm Global? And a few other hats, I think, that got added. So we don't often talk about our merch store. vhsvillage.com. Proto, this was a patron vote. This beat out Twilight and Salem's Lot.
Crazy.
What's this movie all about?
Dr. Frederick Frankenstein is a physician. While his work is legitimate, he cannot escape the infamy of his grandfather, Victor Frankenstein, who attempted to reanimate a corpse. Finding out that he has inherited his family's estate in Transylvania, he travels there to discover just what his grandfather did. When he discovers the secret library and laboratory, he is compelled to continue his family's legacy and reanimate his own corpse. With the help of Igor and Inga, Frederick reanimates the corpse, but experiences the same tragic results. Can Fred transfer some of his intellect to the monster and offload his fiancée? Young Frankenstein.
The age-old question. We've all been there. 1974 Mel Brooks. Danny, what are your top 3 Mel Brooks films?
Off the top of my head, Spaceballs, Blazing Saddles. Should I even say this film yet? We haven't even covered it.
What?
Do I know another one? What did I say? Blazing Saddles,
Spaceballs.
Spaceballs. I don't know. Airplane.
That's a different
I'm
director.
just kidding. I don't know.
I think that's Zucker. How about the audible noise of prototyping to find Mel Brooks' filmography when I ask that question?
We
I hope that
we
comes
forget that
through
you
on the
dropped
edit.
this 3 question on us now.
Never
I
prepared.
know. Proto, same question.
It's been so long since I've seen Spaceballs. I don't even know how I feel about it. I can't even tell you the last time
Do
I
you
saw
have it
it.
logged?
I don't even have it logged, but I've seen it. The one I would say, I mean, Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I feel like this left a deep impact on me.
I'm adding that to my watch list.
Yeah, I gotta watch this. I mean, Cary Elwes at his peak.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a great question.
It's a statement. There's no question. He was not
Timber.
at his peak.
I'm not interested in questions.
Is that John Bernthal during his Jamie Lee Curtis interview?
No, to do a John Bernthal imitation, you have to not say anything.
we
John, we
watched
love
the
you.
JLC.
John, we love you.
John's my number one podcast interviewer right now. We were watching that JLC interview. He said maybe 3 words in 2 hours. I've never seen anything like
There was
it.
just someone caught with their pants down like this, as much as John was with JLC.
I mean,
Not her first rodeo,
you don't interview JLC.
unless
She
you're
controls the environment
Yeah.
for 2 hours. It was unbelievable. I'm probably Blazing Saddles, Spaceballs, and Robin Hood Men in Tights. Robin Hood Men in Tights, if you were wondering, yes, this movie changed my life. 1993. Oh my God. Carl Elwes, Richard Lewis, Dave Chappelle, Isaac Hayes, Patrick Stewart, Tracy Ullman, Dom DeLuise, Dick Van Patten. The list goes on. Where were you when you saw Men in Tights in theaters, 1993? That's the question. I also remember really enjoying Dracula Dead and loving it. Have you guys seen that one? Leslie
No.
Nielsen as Dracula?
No.
I've seen plenty of GIFs and clips from that movie, though.
I mean, Danny, you wanted more comedy horror.
Oh, you're right.
Here it is.
Yeah, it's true. I thought I watched this within the last year, but I don't have it logged, so I wonder if I DNF'd it, unfortunately. I don't know. One stat, I did copious amounts of research for this movie.
Yeah.
Did you know that Young Frankenstein and Blazing Saddles came out in the same frigging year?
That's insane.
What? Yeah, well, I think maybe Blazing Saddles came out in February, Young Frankenstein in December, or vice versa. Like, is that the greatest year for a comedy director in history? There's nothing that can top that, right?
It's got to be
Maybe?
Mel Brooks' best year. It's got.
I mean, I watched the interview with
insane.
Mel, and he was just talking like, yeah, me and Gene were just talking on the set of Blazing Saddles about how we should make a Frankenstein movie. And then they just do it in the same year.
I believe it. Well, I saw that the budget for this movie for Frankenstein was like not even $3 million.
Yeah, it was 2 something. And they made 86. They made 86 million on a $2 million budget.
That's so insane.
And then how much did they make in residual money?
Oh.
Right? They got to be still getting checks cashed. I mean, maybe not this month because you have to go to your local library to watch this. That's
Yeah,
the
what
only
in the
way
world?
for you to watch this movie. I would love to know who's in charge of these decisions and can they be fired? And then can they be replaced by anyone with a brain? That's what I would love to happen.
the amount of malware that was downloaded by our listeners just to watch
try
this
to watch
movie.
this film.
The laptop fan going as loud as Proto's keyboard when people hit play on this movie. For the longest time, Young Frankenstein was like a blind spot for me. Like I was a Robin Hood Prince in Tights boy.
Man,
Blazing Saddles, I feel like when growing up, even though like, today everyone's probably like, oh, can you even watch that movie today? Can we talk about Blazing Saddles? I feel like that was on all the time growing up. Like TBS Superstation had Blazing Saddles on constantly. So, I just like, there was no question that it could be on TV and watched and discussed growing up. So Blazing Saddles, I haven't seen that in years, but if I watched that today, I probably could quote that movie, having not seen it for a long time. And so those were like my Mel Brooks movies growing up. Pardo, what about you?
Well, I mentioned Robin Hood Men in Tights, but that's really, I've never seen Blazing Saddles. I've never seen The Producers
November.
either.
Hello.
oh, I
Stay
forgot
tuned.
about the producers.
Stay
Hello.
tuned. I've really wanted to watch The Producers. I think, I was almost thinking if we did a musical month, I would cheat and pick this.
I wouldn't call that a cheat.
I'd kick you off the show.
But yeah, that's it for me, Yeah, I mean, other than it's Young Frankenstein, Robin Hood, Men in Tights, Now they're begging
Danny?
for musical month.
What was your question? I already given my 3.
Let's move on.
Why are we coming back to this?
We just do this
Danny's
question
pissed.
all night.
Danny is solo parenting right now, and he's taking it out on me.
I'm sorry.
This isn't. I'm
You're
not
like
a
my
part of
5th
this
child.
right now. I'm not
Stop
a part of this.
asking me questions.
I'm not knocking on your door while you're trying to record a podcast.
It's okay. Love my children.
All right, so we'll go around the room. We jot down a few notes for these watches. I will say that my wife was super excited that this got picked
Oh,
because she loves this movie. So happy to watch this during Halloween. Samhain, the month of the demons. Pardo, what's at the top of your list for this movie?
All right. Well, I think we have to just get right into it.
yes.
And what I want to ask a question.
Okay. God damn, more questions.
I'll answer it first, and then
Okay.
you guys can give your answer. Gene Wilder screaming. Is it funny?
Every time.
Is it funny? Right. So, like, this is his move. Yeah. There's a lot of comedians out there. They got a shtick. They got a move, and that's Gene's. Like, he starts talking, and then he's suddenly angry, and his voice is rising, and he's yelling at you.
Of motor impulses, we would collapse like a bunch of broccoli.
And that's really like his main move, I think. Is it funny? I think sometimes it's funny. I think it's pretty hit or miss. I feel like it misses more than it hits.
Oh.
At least in this movie. So, I think a lot of those moments I was hoping, I'd wanted to land better, but it doesn't crack me up. I wasn't cracked up.
Cut it.
Dale,
Sorry,
please,
buddy. Dale, please. That was rude of you
Dale's
to do
pissed.
that. It's a great question. It's a very good question. I will say on this watch, all of his like famous lines were the yelling. Like he does so many of the yelling lines, and I was like, oh my God, there's that line. There's that line where he's yelling or he's screaming. I think for me, it works for the most part. Like for the yelling, I feel like it's an integral part of this character in particular. Whereas like Wonka, not to bring up, that movie,
Mm-hmm.
His character didn't work for me at all.
Willy Wonka, the Chocolate Factory.
That one. And this one, I really love Gene Wilder. So I'm fully on board at saying he has been redeemed from the Wonka movie.
Oh,
His character in that one.
Wow.
So this one, I actually love him as Frankenstein. There's just something about, like, he does yell a lot, but the interplay of him with his two other, leads, Igor and Inga, and the subtle, like, acting that he does in this movie. So it's a big win for me for Gene Wilder. Yelling aside, I'll say that much.
Okay.
I actually don't think that I have a mental note on the amount of yelling that he does, if I can be honest. So I don't really have an opinion on it because I don't notice it. I don't know. It was fine. I loved it. I loved everything about Gene in this film.
His hair.
If I could rock that hair, honest to God, and that mustache, I probably would.
Yeah.
His hair it's like an anomaly.
Mhm.
Like, the more you look at it, the more
Yeah.
confusing it is. Like it would be great if they shaved his head at one point and just like transferred it to like a wig, just so it could sit on a
God,
mannequin
no.
somewhere. So you could get in there, get all angles, try to determine like where is it being parted there. Then there's like another coif of hair coming from some other angle. There's no understanding it.
When he like beats on the monster's chest and he like lays his head down and it all kind of like flops forward. I was looking for like seams. I was like, what? How does this work? How does his hair work?
I love too his line where he's like, the quiet dignity or whatever. And he walks away and he's like, he's choking his dead body. Son of a bitch bastard. I'll get you for this. Like, what is he going to get? Like, he's already dead. I love it. Oh my God. It was so funny. Danny, top of your list.
It's really funny because all of my notes I feel like are just jokes that I wrote down from this film or bits because this thing was all over the place. But since we just talked about Gene, I would love to talk about Terry and is it Marty? Marty was Igor.
Yeah.
Well, I guess all of them, even Peter Boyle as the monster and Cloris
Name
Leachman.
them all. Say their name.
Madeline Kahn. Gene Hackman is in this. You kidding me?
Yeah.
I can't get over how good everyone is in this film. Like the way that they can comedically play off each other and how they're casted. It's just everyone is so damn funny in this film. It's just insane to me. And I paused the movie because I was laughing so hard because I had my eyes closed. I couldn't stop watching the scene, and I went back and watched it like 3 times when Frankenstein and the monster do putting on the Ritz. Like I had snot coming out my nose. I was laughing so hard.
If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits? Different types who wear a day coat, pants with stripes, or cutaway coat, perfect fits. Dressed up like $1 million trooper, trying mighty hard to look like Gary Cooper. Come, let's mix where Rockefellers walk with sticks or umbrellas in
When he
their
sings the
mitts.
line and he waits for the monster to sing putting on the Ritz back, whatever noise comes out of the monster's mouth sent me into a spiral because I was not I honestly thought that the bit was going to be the monster could just sing and dance perfectly fine. But the fact that he could not say putting on the Ritz, I mean, every time he sang that bit and that I was dying. I was dying laughing. And that really goes for most of this film. I mean, the cast in this film is incredible.
Mm-hmm. I love that scene too, where like the music stops when he's doing the song and dance, and it's just Gene like tap dancing in a circle with no music happening, and he's like getting upset that he wouldn't dance with him. Yeah, I honestly forgot that Gene Hackman was in this.
Yeah.
I spent like 5 minutes being like, where do I recognize that voice? Who's Harold? Who is this guy? Yeah, and was it Marty as
Feldman?
Igor. Oh my God.
What a face.
Extremely goated performance from Feldman in this. I mean, Terry's a
knockout.
Oh my God. What's his line towards the end where he asks to help to get elevated? Is that what he says?
Yeah.
Elevate me? She's like, wait, right here? In front of everyone? The cast is amazing.
You want to hear another crazy factoid?
Oh.
Gene Hackman, of course, also in The Conversation. It came out the same year.
Oh my God.
What?
Everyone was cooking.
Yo, remember when we did the 70 years month? Didn't we do like years?
70s month.
No, didn't we do like a year, or did I dream that?
Oh,
Like
one
1970s.
individual year?
Maybe I dreamed that.
It's a good dream.
1974 month. Can anyone confirm we didn't do that? I feel like we did that one month.
I can't remember.
I don't know. Okay. Never mind.
I love Terry Garr in this as well. I fell in love with Terry Garr last year when I saw her in Tootsie. I did not like that movie, but I fell in love with Terry Garr.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's great. She's great in this. Honestly, I would love to have more of her in this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, share the screen a little bit, Gene.
Right.
With her,
Gene,
her
please.
first on-scene moment when she's like, "Do you want to come roll in the hay?"
Oh, yeah.
God. Oh my God. I was smitten with her.
Mm-hmm. Clarence says Hackman ad-libbed his last line of the scene and they had to cut it short because everyone died laughing.
Where are you going? I was going to make espresso.
Hackman to God.
Absolute king. There's a VHS that you can buy. I guess it's probably on the DVD's release, but if you waited till the end of the credits, it had all of the deleted scenes.
Oh, yeah. I meant to watch the blooper reel before we recorded too. I wanted to watch that.
I watched the documentary called It's Alive, where it was interviewing everyone, and it was amazing. Actually, Gene wasn't. No, not Gene. Yeah, Gene wasn't. Gene Wilder wasn't interviewed. But listening to them talk about making this film, it just honestly felt like everyone had a blast making this.
Mm-hmm. One of the points, the sets in this are so amazing. Like as soon as I walk into the mansion, it's so huge. Like, how big is the inside of this castle like set? It looks gargantuan. And then like the library shelves that turn that lead into the lab. I also love like the painting of the castle from afar when they first get there. So cool. But I mean, just like the pullback shot of the lab where they're doing the kind of like intelligence transfer is so like vast and so cool. Not to bring up theme parks again, but like it makes me excited for Universal Epic Universe. Yeah. Like I hope we even just get like a taste of some of that somewhere. Some kind of like queue, like line queue, scene walking through like something that is so, Frankenstein-y or Dracula-ish. That's like this black and white set, because the way Mel Brooks filmed it to try to make it, use all the technology from back then, keep it black and white, like it looks awesome. And it lends to like some of that timelessness of this movie, I feel like. It all looks rad.
Yeah, they went to Columbia, I believe, first. And Mel had said in the interview, he said, when I pitched this movie, that I would only do it in black and white. And if no one would let me, then we're not making the film. And Columbia wouldn't give him the budget, and they balked at the black and white. And so he went to 20th Century Fox, and they gave him the budget and let him shoot in black and white. And just them leaning into trying to replicate what Universal was doing in the 30s as their Frankenstein and just kind of blending the two, it's brilliant. 40 years later, it's like this movie, if you told me it was made in the 30s, I probably would believe you somehow because I'm an idiot. But yeah, I think I can't get over how good this film looks still. I mean, it's beautiful. And you had said something about the castle and the lab. And like I watched in this documentary, the last documentary, they talk about going back to Kenneth Strickfaden, the electrical like set designer. He did all of the lab equipment in the first Frankenstein movie, and he still had all the equipment and gave it back to them to use for this film. So the lab equipment and like the electrical stuff that Igor slaps on the wall is it's all the same stuff from the 1930 Frankenstein movie.
Yeah, I was wondering that because I was like, how could the budget for this be so low with like the way these sets looked and stuff? So that makes sense. Yeah, I was kind of even thinking that like maybe they had the old sets somehow.
Pretty crazy.
If this was like at a theme park, how cool would it be if like the whole set was black and white, like as you walk through it?
Oh my God.
I mean, have you seen the castle they built at Epic?
No,
they haven't. I've seen the outside.
No, they haven't shown like official photos, but all the like drone shots people have been taking of the castle, it's bonkers.
Yeah. God, that idea is so good. It's pissing me off, bro.
Why are we in charge?
Why aren't we in charge somewhere?
Yeah.
I mean, how do you just have those like sets and pieces just like hanging around still? I mean, how many years had it been since they filmed Frankenstein by that point?
40.
He had it for 3 decades? 40 years?
30. 40 years.
30 years? Where do you even store that? Do people store stuff like that in like those storage centers back then?
I mean, Kenneth worked on Wizard of Oz, The Mask of Fu Manchu, The Munsters. So he did a ton of stuff.
My God, those things at auction. How much of those? I mean, those things, yeesh. His grandkids are taken care of. Put on next on your list?
Well, yeah, mine was kind of what you were saying about just like the sets and how good they all looked. But also, yeah, for me, it was also just being in the Frankenstein universe. I just kind of I love this story. I love seeing anything about it, even though this is a comedy and every scene is just for laughs. being in a universe with the monster and Frankenstein and all the elements of it, there's just like something that's just so fun about it. And even the idea of making a comedy out of a classic, monster story. When I was sat down to watch it, I was like, why don't they do this more? And then I thought like, oh, actually, Lisa Frankenstein came out last year.
Right.
And then really also there's that movie that didn't do well, the Nick Cage Renfield movie, which is
I forgot
basically
about that.
like a Dracula comedy movie. But I guess because it was called Renfield, I kind of didn't think of it that way. But so I guess they are still, making these kind of comedies around these monster movies. It's such a great idea. I mean, it's like they should, remake this movie or just make another comedy around Frankenstein. I'd watch it.
Who would you have play young Frankenstein?
Adam Driver.
The screaming Adam would do.
I can't believe you said that with a straight face. Uncanny.
Oh, God.
Yeah, there's a lot of Frankenhooker. I keep meaning to watch Frankenhooker.
Okay.
Bat and Spider covered that maybe. I mean, look at that backdrop. What is happening?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta want it. Danny, next on your list?
We talked about him for a second, but I would like to go back and talk about Marty Feldman. His Igor is incredibly funny. The hump, what hump, kind of bit, and it's too like this movie is like grade A, my kind of comedy. Like I put this up here with like Monty Python, Holy Grail. Like it's just kind of this. It makes me laugh so hard because it's like so subtle, almost deadpan a lot of it, and it really kills me. But his Igor is like it's probably one of my favorite parts of this film because when they're on the carriage or whatever, and it's the werewolf, and he's like werewolf there, and he like points, it's like their wolf, and that stupid shit kills me. It just absolutely kills me. But his Igor kind of bouncing around when he puts on like other clothes on top of his robe, like the bucket hat or whatever that was. It's just incredible.
And then at the end too, where his fiance comes to the castle.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'll take the one in the turban. And then he's like, just if you need any help with the girls tonight. There's so many scenes that are so funny where, there's one where like I think he gasps, Inga gasps, and then Igor also like puts his hand to his mouth. There's so many scenes like that where it's like such a great trio, a comedy trio in this movie. And there's so many like scenes for Gene to play off where he just makes like a face. Like he just makes a random face to the camera or just to himself. And it's so funny. And it starts like when he says, walk this way down this, remember they're walking down the stairs and he does the stairs with the cane. And then Gene just like makes this face where he realizes his hump was on the wrong side at one point. And he's like, never mind. But yeah, Igor, I mean, an amazing performance.
Yeah. Top
from
tier.
him. So good.
I love the scene where they're eating at the table and I think it's him who says, you just made a yummy sound. And then they have the whole conversation about the yummy sound. Yeah, he kind of steals a lot of the scenes. He's very funny.
Yeah.
What's the one character? What's the cop's character's name?
Oh my God.
Inspector Kemp.
Oh yeah, I love the cop.
With his arm.
The dart scene was funny.
The dart scene. Holy cow.
Let's see. What else do I have? I just have honorable mentions. I didn't really even write a top 3 here. I mean, one of the funniest scenes when Frankenstein is with the fiance.
Yes.
Remember he like captures her and there's like this running bit about how well endowed Frankenstein is.
Von Schrucker.
Like the scene where he like starts taking off his shirt with her in the cave or whatever, and they're like kissing, and then you like assume that she finds out how well endowed he is, and then she starts singing the song like a sweet mystery of life. Like I was like cackling when she started singing that. And then it like comes back again too later when you're wondering, she asks like, oh, well, what abilities did you get from, the Frankenstein monster? And he just like starts growling in bed, and then she starts singing the song as well in bed. I think that's my favorite bit of the whole movie.
Mamma mia.
The transference of that energy.
That's sexual energy. Let's see. Proto.
Yeah, I just really have honorable mentions left as well. It's funny, I like have lines written down, but I don't even remember the context of a lot of them.
Just say them. Just say them.
There it is. Home. Igor pointing at the castle. His book, his grandfather's book in the library, How I Did It.
Oh my God.
The label on the door, after 5, slip brains through the slot in the door. It's so stupid.
Do they make movies like this anymore?
They
Is this
don't.
like even possible? Is it funny? Like we have Tim Robinson Netflix now, and that's like, is that the new Gene Wilder, Mel Brooks comedy? Like,
I don't know who
I
you
feel like
just said.
nobody wants to do this anymore.
Who did you just say? What's that name? Tim Robinson?
Oh, for my recast. So I have Adam Driver
Okay.
as Frankenstein, and I had this written down in my notes. Igor, Adrian Brody.
Oh my God. The role he was born to play.
Finally. The fiance.
I was going to
At
say
the
Anna
end.
Taylor-Joy for Igor.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Who's the actress that we're always talking about that can do many roles? Tilda Swinton as Igor.
Oh, boy.
Proto just like looked so exasperated at my suggestion. His head went down.
Not
I've never
that
seen him
name.
so disappointed in my life.
The fiance at the end saying a hamper for socks and poo-poo undies. I just love the monster just sitting in bed with like his reading glasses.
Yeah.
Like this is his life now. I don't know what if it was like this viewing, but I felt like I wasn't totally in tune to everything that was going on. So I had a good time, but it didn't kill me in the way that I'd want a comedy to, or that I'd hope so. So I'm at 3 stars for this. I think it's good. It's funny. I think maybe, I don't know, maybe I need the right environment.
You need to watch it with friends.
Yeah, that's exactly what I need.
Next 70mm Summit.
I'm going to hold you to that.
Danny?
Let's see. Yeah, I just have like lines. What knockers? Like stupid.
Oh, yeah.
Stupid.
Oh, yeah.
What knockers? You haven't touched your food. Like insane moments. If I didn't have a stacked top 4 as it is, I'd put this in my top 4. Like I'm a 5-star on this.
What?
I love this movie. I couldn't get enough. I'm like, I already texted Casey and I'm like, when you're back in town, we're watching this together. Because I couldn't get enough of it. I was so mad when it was over. Like I really want to just fire it up and watch it again. I was just laughing so hard. It caught me off guard. I haven't seen this since high school. I think we watched it in one of my high school classes. So obviously I didn't care about it then as much as I do now. But man, this movie just slapped for me. I couldn't get enough. Wow. It was so funny. I can't take off Nashika off my top 4 to replace it, but this movie, it just hit all my buttons. This is my kind of comedy.
Damn. Not even for a Halloween.
I don't
4 faves.
I don't have time to do
You don't
this.
do themed 4 faves?
I tried once. I don't have that in me.
It's not for you. I
You can
understand.
barely log movies.
Thank you. See, I mean, I'm as bare bones of a letterbox user as it gets.
That's okay. That's okay. Disclaimer, I'm a Letterboxd employee. Mr. Hilltop and his socks in that first scene.
God.
Remember his he wheels that guy out on the gurney and does the experiment with him. So funny. We haven't talked about Frau Blucher.
Oh my God.
The horse's reaction. She wanted Frankenstein so bad. She was asking him if he wanted a brandy at the end of the night, warm milk.
When she was playing her violin or fiddle as she walked back up the stairs.
Oh yeah.
God.
How about the charade scene?
Oh my God.
He's like getting strangled by Frankenstein. So funny. Let's see. Oh yeah. Did you, when they're doing the first experiment and Igor is up using the kite, and then like the next second he's down there, he's like, "Did you tie up the kites?" And he says yes, and he pats him on the shoulder, and he like pauses and realizes it's on the other side, but doesn't say anything. That's right where the elevate me line happens. Put on the Ritz. Gene tap dancing to no music is so funny.
Oh man.
Oh, when the fiance has sex with Frankenstein again, and they're at the house, and she's like remarking about how, he's leaving, or he like gets out of bed. She's like, 7 or 8 quick ones and you're off to brag to the boys. You're just like all the other ones. Yeah, I have a lot of fun rewatching this. I'm at 4 stars for Young Frankenstein. Great movie, lots of laughs, but I don't think it cracks my Mel Brooks Mount Rushmore, personally. Robin Hood Men in Tights. I mean,
the next month is all yours.
Well, I could pick it next month for November.
Yours. Wow.
It could. I could pick Dracula Dead and Loving It, but I wouldn't do that to everybody. Blazing Saddles I could pick. It's probably not streaming anywhere. God's
sake. Is it
not? No, it's a digital rental at least.
Oh.
All right, Pardo. Next week is kicking off November. Movies we've never covered on this show before. We get to pick whatever we want. All bets are off.
We also have a letter. Just wanted to interrupt you real quick.
Really?
Yeah, you pinned it.
All right. At least I did one thing right. All right, it's about Young Frankenstein too. Thank you.
Yeah, no.
It's from Scott. You made my week when you announced Young Frankenstein for this upcoming pick. I'm breaking out the CBS Fox Laserdisc for this one.
Whoa.
Do you have that one, Danny? I don't think you do.
I don't.
It's tied for first favorite Gene Wilder flick besides Wonka. But if you ask me, the supporting actors are all at the top of their game for this one. It's a great cast ensemble. I've been saving this viewing for such a seasonal occasion, but have been watching other lesser-known Wilder films after watching the heartbreaking documentary about him on Netflix from last year. It's well done. Give it a viewing. Anyway, back to Young Frankenstein. As an avid cigar smoker, I have to just chuckle to myself sometimes while lighting up, thinking of the scene with the great Gene Hackman. Thank you all for the great picks this past Scare-tober. I think you mean Monster-tober,
Yeah.
Scott?
That's what he meant.
Keep up the great work and hope you had a great Florida vacation.
Thank
Scott.
you.
Thank you, Scott. I remembered that you had that letter the whole time. I never forgot.
You can edit it
I was
out.
just waiting to trick Danny into telling me that it was there. Pardo, when was the last time you smoked a cigar?
Oh man, I have no idea. I'm not much of a cigar smoker. Not my jam.
Danny?
Or Philly meetup.
Really?
There it is.
Yeah.
Where was that? Was that a smokable building?
I didn't smoke inside, Slim.
Huh? I was going to call the cops on your ass.
I thought it was legal in Philly.
No. Get it out of here. Secondhand smoke. Ever heard of it? November. Freedom Month with another name. Pardo, what's your pick for next week?
Well, one thing I love to do. First of all, I'm very excited about this pick. I'm very excited that this is happening. I've tried to make this movie happen in Protopendence. I think that.
Oh my gosh!
Both years, I've been trying to find a way. So now it's finally happening. One thing I love to do is before we have a big release of a new movie come out, is to watch a director's previous work. And with arguably the biggest movie left of the year to come out in December.
Hello.
Nosferatu.
Hello.
God.
We're going to watch Robert Eggers' The Northman from 2022.
Hello. We just talked about this. You just told me to watch this on the Florida trip.
We were just talking about this.
Heck yes.
I've been wanting to rewatch this since I saw it. I saw it when it came out. So I can't wait to rewatch this. And both of you haven't seen it, right?
No, I haven't seen it.
I've not seen it. Not seen it. This one came and went, but I remember there being a lot of buzz. Alexander Skarsgård, Nicole Kidman, Ethan Hawke, Anya Taylor-Joy, excuse me. Let me read the synopsis here for The Northman. A young Viking prince is on a quest to avenge his father's murder.
Oh, yeah. We're going to get into it.
Wow. This is rentable, digitally rentable. And you can also get probably a 4K of this floating about. Oh, yeah, there's 4Ks.
Okay.
You can rent the 4K on Amazon for $379. What an odd price. I have not seen this. Have I seen The Lighthouse? I don't even know if I've seen The Lighthouse.
Have you not seen Lighthouse?
I think I did. Yeah, I think I've seen The Lighthouse. I logged it. No rating.
Oh, God.
Wise, as always.
I'm so wise.
All right, I'm excited to watch this.
Yeah, me too.
Check this off the Eggers list for November. Okay.
Eggheads rise.
It's time for the Eggheads.
This definitely guides my choice quite well.
Oh.
In the right direction.
We're making progress.
Okay. As this episode posts Monday, I mean, Halloween is right around the corner. Trick-or-treating. Everyone out and about before the sun goes down. Any closing thoughts, Proto, as we wrap on Monster Tober and enter November?
Yeah, happy Halloween, everyone. Now that that's over, update on Penguin. I just watched episode 4 of Penguin last night. Gosh, if it wasn't for Shogun, this would probably be the best show of the year.
Goodness.
Frig me.
Yeah.
This show is really good. What they did in episode 4, I don't want to say anything. I mean, if you like Batman, just watch this show. Gosh, I'm having a great time. Great time.
I feel like someone is winning an Emmy because of episode 4.
I mean, the writing, the
I
acting.
won't say any names.
Don't say anything.
Both of you shut up about Penguin. We'll see everybody next week for The Northman. $70mm is a tape deck production featuring original artwork provided by Danny Haas. Spiritual guidance and V'ger, the robot who loves movies, provided by Pertalexis. Producer at large Dale_A. And music composed by Cinematric. Prints and other merch are available on 70mmpod.com. This episode was mixed, edited, and produced by me, Slim. Support our Patreon for access to our VHS Village Discord to talk movies with new friends, access to our exclusive episodes in the 70mm vault, discounts on merch, uncut episodes, and a physical membership card mailed to you. To check out other Tape Deck podcasts, find the link in the episode notes. And if you'd like to support our friends at Letterboxd and upgrade to Pro or Patron status, you can do so with a 20% off discount using the links on 70mmpod.com. Goodbye.
This is a Tape Deck podcast.